Hey folks, welcome to UniHosted channel. Today we are going to play with UniFi Switch Access Control List. These are good features that you can use with UniFi, just like any other enterprise network brand, to create rules and manage your traffic at this switch level. Now, UniFi allows you to play with IP and MAC rules, and we also have some default features that we can just enable to restrict the traffic, or we can just be a little bit more specific and filter traffic with specific devices. As always, in all of the videos, I have a lab environment. I'm going to be activating the features and playing a little bit with them, and then we are going to do some testing. So now let's begin. All right, folks, let's first begin with requirements, or what you need to be able to use these features. And I'm here at the Ubiquiti KVs and access control list for switch segmentation. You will need at least to have, as you can see over here, only if you have a layer 3 switch or at least a UniFi gateway. Now we have another restriction here as well, and you can see ACLs are standard on all UniFi switches except for, and you have a big list over here, so keep this in mind. Check if you have these features. Another thing that you can do, and this is what I did with my switch, which is this guy over here. I'm in the technical information, and you can see it says over here, it says MAC-based ACLs, device isolation, and also IP-based ACLs and network isolation. Now for the network application version, I remember, if I understand correctly, it was applied, or the switch ACLs were added on this version. Most likely you are running something like 9. something or 9.3.4, so pretty much you should be able to use this feature. What do I have on my control plane? We can see the version that I'm running right now is 9.4.19. So this is what I'm running on my UCG Ultra. And now let me show you my environment. So this is the lab that I'm going to be using for this demo. We have a UCG Ultra with 2 VLANs, 20 and 30. Those are the subnets. Then I have a wired USW Lite 8 PoE switch. And I have I have my computer connected to it with 2 VMs. One it's on the VLAN 20 and another one it's on the VLAN 30. That's a Windows server. And then I have a U6 Plus switch that is broadcasting the VLAN 30 network, and I have a laptop over there that we'll be using for ping testing purposes. Okay, now let me go first to the settings and to networks, and here we have the 2 features or settings that I mentioned, or that we will be using. One is the layer 3 network isolation ACL, and the other one is device isolation ACL, which we also need to add there. It should be good if we add there MAC ACL. Okay, this one works at the MAC level, this one works at the IP level, and we have here some information. It said, hey, I block all the IPv4 traffic between devices in different network. This blocking is applied at the switch level using an IPv4 access list. Okay, now this is a global setting, just like the other one that we see below. If you want to be more granular, you need to get into the policy table or the firewall zones. Okay, so I'm gonna start by applying this guy over here, and you can see something really important. These rules, or ACLs, are not going to be applied if you connect to the UCG Ultra. So this only applies if your devices are behind or connected to this switch. Okay, so if we take this computer, the laptop, the access point, and we connect them directly to the Ultra, these rules are not going to be applied. So this is really important. So I'm going to create an entry. And another thing to note, this is a bi-directional rule. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it works later, but it's going to block the 2 sides. Okay, not just one from the other. So create, and then we apply the changes. Now, something important to note, they don't appear over here on the policy table. If we uncheck to see all the policies and we just leave the custom ones, you can see it's not, or the rules are not showing up here. Okay, now what I did is I blocked VLAN 20 to 30, and I have my Windows VM over there. This is what's just running a ping, and this is the computer that it's on the, let me just remove this guy and open CMD again. This is the, VM that it's on the VLAN 20. Because we do this, you can see VLAN 20, and I'm going to ping the laptop that is connected through wireless. Okay, that if we go to client devices, we can see is this one over here, and it has this IP 33. Okay, perfect. So let's go here. It takes a little bit, as you know, for any setting to apply, but should be applied by now, or it will apply in any second. Let's just run a ping and see what happens. And now you can see that I can't ping, so the rule has been applied. I have an SSH session to the switch. Sorry, this is just something that I was playing before, and I'm into the CLI of the switch, and let me show you what we have for ACL. And now we can see it's just one big ACL, the global one, okay? And it shows us that the shows us basically deny over here. Just like firewalls and other switches, the rules are applied from top to bottom. So this one have a higher priority than the permit IP any, okay? Important to know. And we can see that it's blocking or it's doing a block from the two places, okay? So again, it's a bi-directional rule. Alrighty, so now if I disable this rule, I should be able to ping again. So let me go back to my UniFi, and if I go over here and again to networks, I'm going to disable this rule. Okay, perfect. And let me just go back to the VM and let's just wait a little bit. I'm going to pause the video so you don't have to wait a lot. And after a few seconds and a few timeouts, now we have ping back online or working. Okay, let's get a little bit more granular and actually let's try to ping, to set a rule to only block devices from each other, not the whole network. Like it was mentioned over here, if you want to be more granular, you need to use ACL rules. If you click over there, it will take you to the policy engine and the policy table. What you need to do is this. I'm going to create a new policy over here. And instead of firewall, which is the one that applies at the gateway level, I'm going to choose ACL. What I'm going to do is I'm going to block that Windows 11 VM that it's on VLAN 20 to be able to do anything. I will use ping, but to do anything to send traffic to the laptop that is on VLAN 30. So let's say block VM VLAN 20 to LP VLAN 30. Okay, really long, but we always need to be descriptive in the rules anyway. Okay, I'm going to choose IPv4. This is for layer 3. Now I can select which switch I want to do. I just have one switch, so I'm just going to keep all. And we have the same warning as we had before. Hey, if this will apply at the switch level, not at the entire network. So if you connect again to the ultra and this, or you remove the switch from the middle, this is not going to work. Okay, protocol, I'm just going to leave all. Now for the source, I'm going to pick the IP address of that VM and let me check. And if I remember correctly, that would be 89. Okay, I'm going to click add and the action is going to be block and the destination is just going to be IP and I'm going to put there the IP of the laptop. The port will be any, so I'm going to click add. Now, like I mentioned before, if you use the global setting, it doesn't appear here, but if you create the rule, this specific rule is going to appear over here. Now, let's go to the VM. Let's run a ping again, and I'm going to pause the video. We'll take a little bit for the rule to apply. And after a minute, we have now a timeout. And let's go and check on the switch itself. What do we have for the rule? Now you can see it's not a bi-directional rule anymore, and it specifies the IPs just like we did on the GUI. Okay, the permit IP any is still there, but now it's something different. Okay, and of course it has more priority than the other one. Okay, perfect. Now let's get into the MAC ACLs or device isolation, how it's called in the UniFi over here. Let me remove this guy. So it doesn't bother, doesn't create any issues. And let's get into networks again. Now let's begin with the global rule over here. So I'm going to pick this guy. It will allow you, hey, which one you want to select. I'm just going to use VLAN 30, but you can choose the other one as well. When I hit save, you have the same warning as before. And I'm going to apply the changes. Now, if we go into the policy table, and again, I'm going to uncheck default policies, you can see it doesn't show up here. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, perfect. I'm going to get into the server that it's on the same VLAN as the laptop, okay, which is this guy. And I think I just left a ping running to that IP. Let me just rerun this. Let me show you. This is the IP. You can see it's on the VLAN 30, okay. And now let me ping that laptop. Well, it was working, but it looks like the setting applied and it's not working anymore. So now it's running. And what do we have under the hood? So I'm going to just do a show ACL again. Of course, I removed the other ones, so they're not showing anymore, but we can see a lot of permits from the top. And this is basically because even if you're blocking communication between your devices in the VLAN, your devices still need to reach out your gateway. Okay, so this is important so they can have internet, DHCP, and local services. That's why we see permit rules over here. And most likely, those MAC addresses that we see are the MAC addresses of my gateway. And we have here, over here, this is the rule that we created from the GUI that is blocking the communication between devices in the same VLAN. Okay, now let's do the same thing as we did before. And let's be granular with this feature instead of blocking the whole thing. So I'm going to minimize this and let me go into networks again. I'm going to disable this. Let's go to the policy table. Let's create a new policy, and I will pick ACL again, and I'm going to block VM server to laptop. I'm going to block the server to be able to ping the laptop that it's on the same VLAN, okay? Now, in the type, since this is a Mac ACL, I'm going to pick a Mac switch. I want to use the same. Now, I want to specify which VLAN it is. Actually, it's the 30. Now, for the source, you can see you can pick device or MAC address. I'm going to pick device. You can, if you want, copy and paste the MAC address of the devices, that's fine. But if you just use this, it will show you right away, hey, which devices you have connected to that VLAN. And I'm going to pick now the server that is this guy over here. So this will be the source, because I don't want this guy to communicate to the other laptop, and I'm gonna block for the action. Destination is going to be device. I can do the whole network if I want. Now I'm gonna pick the laptop from here and hit save. Probably I left that ping running, and now it's going to be working. Let me see. Yep, now it's working. The rule didn't apply yet. Let me pause the video over here until the rule applies so you can see how it works. And there we have some timeouts. So now the rule is applying. Even if we check the firewall, the switch, in the CLI, we can see now we have only one deny, not the whole deny like we had before over here, and it's just the MAC addresses of the two devices. So just one blocking one device from, to be able to communicate with the other, pretty much like the one for the IP block. And all right, that should be it for this demo. All right, folks, that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you and it can help you with the management of your network traffic. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notifications for the upcoming videos. If you have any questions, comments, or any requests for a new video, please drop them in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next UniHosted video. Bye-bye.